So as you can see today, we're covering the Figma connector on our XTM Connect series. And topics we'll be going over today will be how to install the Figma connector plugin, which can be found in the Figma community, how you can create users as a Figma admin, and of course, how to send content and monitor your projects within XTM. In the demo, we will see how you can swiftly transfer content to XTM, either a whole page or individual frames of the page. Then we'll see how this will look like within the XTM Workbench, where you can actually see images, segment images, to get you additional context. We'll check the translation queue and the status of projects within the Figma connector. And then we'll see how you can import and translate the content back into the Figma CMS. And I think we can start with a demo. First of all, let's go and see how you can create users within the Figma admin panel. So I logged in as an admin in the Figma Connect here, and you can see you can use your admin rights to create more admins. You can spawn more administrators or create users. Now the clients option here will not be available to any normal users because this is a super admin, so we can differentiate different clients here in our environment. But as a Figma admin, you can create more users and you can change what the users can see and do within the Figma connector. So as you can see here, you can assign a client, check the interface language, you can select how the user will send will import content. So you can import jobs separately or import all the jobs at once, or this user can also have an automation and periodically import jobs every specific amount of minutes you set it up in the content, in the user profile here. All users have to be connected to XTM, so they are an active user within the XTM system here, so you will need credentials from that user. So name, password, as well as the company name. And they also connected to a default customer within XTM. So customer within XTM is a translation memory, terminology and configuration repository. They can also use a template, which will also generate a project based on that template from XTM. You can assign a project name prefix, so you can see all the projects coming from the Figma environment. And of course, you can set up the source language within the CMS. Additionally, you can enforce the user to use templates from the project. So whenever they create a project, that template will also be applied to that project sent from the connector. So once you configure your users, then you can go into your Figma environment here and select some content to be sent. Before all that, you will need to find the XTM plugin. So you have to come to Figma community, search for XTM. This is our plugin here. Simply install that, and your Figma environment will have the option to send content to the XTM connector. Where do you find that? Well, we are here in content within the Figma environment. You can select any type of content, either by going to the content list here or simply clicking on it. By right-click here, you have access to the plugins. And this is where you get the XTM plugin, as well as also have access to the community to get that as well. So once you select the Figma Connect plugin, you will need to log in as well as your user right as a user which you set up in the admin. So we have a username here, that would be XTM demo, and our password. And this is the plugin of the connector. As you can see here, we have a pre-selected XTM customer, a template, source and target languages. You can create a multilingual project or a single language project. And you can also send projects to an active XTM project, which essentially is continuous localization within the XTM system. You don't have to create a new project for any content that you need to send over to XTM. You can set up a due date as well. Again, this is optional. And if you have selected this option, you can generate and upload screenshots. Now this will pick up any content from the Figma environment and create it as a segment ID image, which can be associated with whatever you send over for translation. Bear in mind that if you send too many images, that will take some time for the connector to push the content to XTM. So let's pick something for translation. We're going to select the parent content here. And as you can see, we have all these items or sub-items that can be sent for translation. They are already translated. So let's see if I found something that hasn't been translated before. Well, this is also translated, but I'm going to change the languages here. Maybe it's not in any of the other languages. Let's go with Polish here. I'm going to set a due date for Christmas. And I'm going to send for translation. Now the connector is picking up the content from Figma and it's creating the project, which will go into our XTM instance. And the translation queue here shows me all the active projects and where they are with the progress bar here, showing me that it's in Translate 1 within the XTM system. So I have to log in now into my XTM instance here. And I can see the project that's been sent over. So as you can see, this is a project we just created. It's from English into Polish, 26 words. And this is now being created based on the Figma template that we pre-selected. The template also has user allocated, so resources have been pre-allocated. It didn't start automatically, but there is also that option available. So if you set the project template to automatically start, we could have been in the first step to be already active. And let's see now how the project will look like within the XTM Workbench. Hopefully we picked up also some images so we can actually see the segment ID image connection. As you can see, we also have the images available here. It's been pre-selected by the Figma connector and we can actually see in context what we are translating. Now we're using also machine translation. As you can see here, we're using the Google NMT, so everything has been pre-translated and we're good to go. I don't have to wait for this to be completed, so as a project manager, I'm just going to finish the task and send it back to the Figma environment. So let's come here, click on Finish Project, push everything back to Figma. Refresh the list here. Might take a few minutes for this to be synced, but then I can also import all manually. So I can select this option here and import all my content manually back to my Figma environment. Connector is parsing the translations now. And it's importing back everything. So once this is completed, I can right-click on the item I selected and then see the language version that we just created using the XTM connector. And this might take some time because we are also sending images across, and we're also picking back and importing images for our translations. So the way I created this project was by simply selecting a child item here from this parent content and sending over to XTM. That's one way to do it. I'll show you how you can also select individual items. So now we have this dialog here, and I can move it to page Polish, which is the Polish version that we just created within the XTM system. So additionally, you can select content by clicking and clicking Control. Now let's activate the connector so we can see what is being picked up. If there is something here for translation, the connector will actually recognize this and send it over for translation. I can also do that with a demo file I have here. In the team project, I have created a demo site. This is simply a template being used just for the demo here for the webinar. I can run my last plugin here, which again will be the Figma connector. And I can expand this. And if anything is covered, as you can see here, the connector automatically recognizes any text being contained within my selection, and it picks it up as content to be sent for translation. And with this, we cover the functionality of the connector.